Okay, so I just had Claude teach itself how to do something in the future. Let me explain. So, a little while ago, I went on vacation, and as you know, I have this home setup where I have vibe coded stuff I'm hosting, plus some open source, GitHub applications that I put on there that I use locally. Great. Um, and I went on vacation, and it's like, oh, this device isn't backed up anywhere. It's just kind of running on its own. And I was like, it's only a week or so. It's fine. Of course, in the middle of the trip, hardware failure, it dies, and I have to start over and rebuild the whole thing. You would think somebody who has built NAS products before, worked at SanDisk and WD would know better, but I guess not. So the NVMe, storage failed, and I had to rebuild it. Also teaches me not to pull something out of my junk pile and use it for something, pseudo productionist. So lessons learned. So I've now rebuilt the system, and it's all running great. My go-to is using the noBGP MCP server to be my DevOps engineer and install it all back in there properly from all of the GitHub repos. So that all works. I can reconfigure, I add things. I'm all happy. To do the backup this time around, I have backup jobs pointing to a storage location that's not in the device, obviously. And the system's going to run a cron job to run this backup script over and over. All set up, good. And then I have it monitored in my monitoring system, so I know when backups fail. Also good. But the system is not a complete drive backup, right? I don't want to back up the OS, for example. It takes up space. I don't want to do that. So I'm just copying data files to rebuild things. So I actually gave Claude the instruction to build itself instructions. So in the future, if it had to restore that entire setup from just the data, it would have instructions to do that. So of course, it nicely built me a rebuild.md file, which it put into the backup location. It also put it in the home directory of the OS, so in the data folder, of course. So in every build, every backup, it'll also be included in the backup. So now it has instructions that it wrote for itself. In the future event that it needs to rebuild everything, it knows the exact steps it needs to follow to reinstall everything and then replace all the data from the backup location into production. So, minor thing, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Hope you're doing well. Talk to you later.